Guys, welcome back to the channel, and today it finally happened. After a month of waiting, the fuel cell has arrived. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the old gas tank out, try and get this fuel cell put in there. I had some brackets, it wound up not working, that were supposed to go across. I thought this sump was deeper, but it hits the fittings, the bracket that I have going straight across. So what we're going to do is we're going to take that bracket, instead of going this way, we're just going to mount it from this tab to the tab back here in the back, and it'll just go this way in the back of the trunk instead of across this way. Either way, it'll work out just fine. And then we're gonna, right now I just have this little 10AN fitting for being able to hook everything up, running this style hose, the 3/8. But I wound up getting this for the sheer fact of it's got these top openings right here. Well, one of these is going to be a vent, which will be this one. This one's going to wind up being a return for when we swap over to our Holley Sniper EFI system. It's got to have a return point, so that'll be what this one's for, vent, and then that'll be the main feed for the fuel system. And we just have an extra feed for some reason. So let's get to it and have some fun. What's up, guys? Well, you see the tank is completely out. I mean, there's nothing there. It's sitting out in the yard right now. I'm gonna figure out something to do with it. Not 100% sure where I can get rid of that at, but I'm gonna call around to a couple dumps and see if someone will take it. I know people take the used fuel, but I don't know if anyone can take that gas tank itself. So what I'll probably do is dump the fuel out of it, put it in a couple gas cans, get rid of that today, and then maybe fill that thing with water until I can figure out what I'm going to do with it. But until then, I'm going to start working on getting this fuel cell inside the trunk for you. So, you ready? Here it comes. All right, guys. So, with a lot of mock-up, a lot of cuss words, I think I finally got how it's going to sit. It was hard getting it centered. It took a lot of measuring and all that. I didn't want to bore you with doing that on camera. But for right now, this is what we got so far. Nothing is drilled or set in stone yet, but here we go. That's what we got. I don't think it looks too bad. Gives me plenty of room. Wants to shut. But so we're gonna go in and we're gonna start drilling it. And once we get it drilled and all that crap, we're gonna secure it down and then reconnect the fuel line, and then I'll deal with the old bad gas and all that stuff in the other tank. After that, not 100% sure of what we're gonna do today, but we're getting there. We'll figure it out. We'll play it by ear. And all right, guys. So we got it all mounted up, and she's in there nice and secure. Like, got some hardware holding it in there, on the back side. I did, however, change up the way I had the fuel routed. See how I got the line this way instead of going that way like I was talking about. But look, crawl under here and we'll show you. So I wound up zip tying the fuel filter up, and that holds the fuel line up. and then runs to the pump and the rest of the lines and all that. So I think it's in here nice. I'm just gonna get some sheet metal to fill these holes in right here, and that'll be that. So we're gonna move on to the next step. All right, we're back. So what we're gonna do next is, it's the old fuel door cap. What I'm gonna do is remove these 2 screws that are on it. And you'll see why I'm about to do that here in just a second. I'm gonna explain it. We walked to the back of the car, the old filler neck was mounted right there in that hole. Well, I was gonna mount the battery kill switch in that hole, but it's too big and I need a little piece of metal that I can put there, and then that'll be where my battery kill switch is. Well, this little piece of metal just happens to fit perfectly. So we're gonna remove this knob or handle, whatever you wanna call it, and then drill our holes for right here. We're gonna screw it right to it and then drill a hole in the center, and that'll be for the battery kill switch. And then we'll start working on the remote terminals on where we're gonna mount those after that. So here comes the time lapse. That's what we got so far. Like I said, cutoff switch will be right here. We'll probably put the terminals, remote terminals, right here. So. Guys, well, that's it right there. It's nothing, like I said, this isn't going to be a show car. I'm building it to be a street cruiser slash my weekend warrior at the racetrack. But here's your on off. It's not wired up yet, but it's mounted. So next we're going to go ahead and we're going to mount these remote terminals that I bought for it. And not 100% sure of exactly how I'm going to do that because of how this is bent, but it'll probably be right here-ish. Over here by the tail light, one here, one over here. That way I don't have to pop the trunk and put jumper cables across this metal bar. I'd really prefer not to burn my car to the ground. But we're just gonna run a jumper wire from these little posts in the middle around to right here, and that's where they're gonna mount. And then your main power and your main ground, well, your main ground's gonna go over here to the fuse box, but your main power is gonna come right over through here, all the way to the main cutoff. And that'll be that. The circuit breaker will probably be before the cutoff, and then off to the fuse box that's going to be mounted over here. So that being said, let's get started. All right guys, so we're back, and I just went ahead and kind of drew a little line. I don't know if the camera's going to pick it up, but over here by the tail light, that's where I'm going to mount them. This will be the negative, this will be the positive. So we're going to go ahead and do a little time lapse of me doing that. Not too fun. Obviously wiring them is definitely not fun at all. But I'm just mounting everything for right now. Once I get the fuse box and all that stuff mounted, then we'll go ahead and start wiring stuff up, like your lights and all that stuff. But I'm just getting it ready. Other than that, we're going to get started on this time lapse. Cue it now. That's very scary, drilling a big ass hole like that. sketchy. Two big holes. But hopefully they work. They're the right size. Boom. It'll be sitting like that. Let's get them mounted. All right, guys. So we pretty much got all we're gonna do for today's video done. Here's a look at the back of the car now. Got our remote charging terminals right here. Boom. Battery kill switch. And then of course our fuel cell, which is all plumbed up and ready to go. The only thing I have to get is a 0 to 90 ohm fuel gauge. Then we'll be able to tell our fuel level, and we won't have to stop every 10 miles to see how good we're doing on fuel. Like I said, I didn't wire any of this stuff up. It's all just mounted, and we're gonna get to that when I make my fuse panel and we go to start wiring the whole car. None of these are really all that, none of them are wired up, but once we get it to the point of we're ready to wire the car and I start buying some more wire for it, then I keep doing this to myself, this light's really bright. Once we get to the point of wiring the car, then we'll wire all that stuff up all at the same time, get some fresh main lines going through. This is going to be wired up. The kill switch, it's going to kill the battery and it's going to kill the alternator. So when we flip it to off, in theory, it should kill the entire car even if it's running. Because if I just kill the battery, when someone runs up to the car, if I get no wreck at the track and they flip the switch, the car is going to stay running if it's doesn't kill power from the alternator, because the alternator is going to keep the motor running by itself without a battery. But yeah, I really appreciate you guys watching. Don't forget to like, comment. I always love reading some feedback. If you really enjoy my videos, subscribe, and share with your friends if they're into gasser, if they're into classic cars. I mean, I'm just trying to get out there and do what I love doing, and I want you guys to come along the journey with me. So thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.